Frank, I want to talk about the numbers that Pete was bringing us. So it looks like as of right now, 5 people shot, 2 in serious condition, and then 13, including those 5, injured. This tells you, Frank, what?
Well, it's still a lot of people to shoot in a compressed period of time. It still looks like there's planning. It still looks like we're talking about at least a semi-automatic pistol because of the need for rapid fire to take that many people down. And I think, Pete alluded to the federal role here and the NYPD role. Right now, it's a partnership, but to help people distinguish, NYPD extremely sophisticated at crime scenes and many other attack-related resources that they have. They will literally start looking for the shell casings on the ground, and they will begin to check if there's latent fingerprints on those spent shell casings or these other suspicious devices. And very quickly, that will be entered into the FBI database if they find prints. And it's possible, if the prints exist, that they could get an ID on a suspect rather quickly. There's even something called rapid DNA these days that is incredibly fast if they were to find latent DNA, say, on a device. Perspiration, perhaps, from the suspect or on the casings. And then, so that's happening very localized in the crime scene. Now, globally, the FBI and the entire U.S. intelligence community, when something like this happens, checks their overnight systems and databases, electronic eavesdropping around the world, court-ordered wiretaps. Agents are checking with sources. Has there been any chatter? Has anyone alluded to something like this, even cryptically, around the world, particularly in the terrorist community? Just to rule that out, we'll ask our allies, Canada, the UK, Australia. Have you got anything in your databases, anything you've picked up chatter-wise, just to ensure that we're not looking at a terrorism attack?
And Frank, you mentioned the shell casings. That, of course, is presumably if the person used a pistol, if he used a revolver, a 6, even a 7-shot revolver, there would be no casings. So, Frank, what about, for example, the cameras? The cameras down there in the station and around the streets of Brooklyn?
We all know now that we're on camera much of the time, whether we're in a suburban shopping area or a major city. And so the call will go out for all vendors, all city-related, state-related cameras. New York has a great system of tying those in together. It's rather sophisticated. They can do it. London, I think, led the way, London, England, on this. NYPD has access to the cameras around the city. People will be looking from different angles to see what happened. And don't be surprised if this manhunt goes on much longer if you see NYPD come out publicly with images and say, this is the face, this is the guy, this is the girl, if you know this. And they'll estimate height, they'll estimate weight from any images they can capture. But I see a crowdsourcing of solving this happening if this goes on much longer.